Hi, everyone. Let's take a look at the following example. Write the equation for the following graph, and we're looking at this in terms of an exponential function. An exponential function. So, by inspection, when you look at this equation here, or look at this graph here, you will notice there's a horizontal asymptote at y equal to 0. So, again, step one, identify any type of asymptotes, vertical, horizontal, oblique. In this case, there's a horizontal asymptote. Step two, the reason why I am saying this looks like it's an exponential function is because I can identify a couple of points. So for example, when I look at this, right off the bat, I can see this point right here is going to be the y-intercept, which is 0, -1. Likewise, if I grab another point, this is going to be at 1, -2. Now, if I went to the left-hand side and I look at -1, it appears that there's another point at -1, -half. Now, what does that really mean? Think about this with a base of 2. Now, why am I saying that? Because if I think about -half, I can express this just like -1 and -2, it's a power of 2. So what I mean is I look at this and I say to myself, well, what is -half? What is -1? What is -2? Well, first of all, isn't that the same as saying 2 to the power of -1, 2 to the power of 1, or 2 to the power of 0, and 2 to the power of 1. Now, they're not equal yet, because notice there's a negative sign at the front. There's a negative sign here, and here, and here. So what I need to do is to put in that negative sign to keep this consistent. So again, the way I think about this is I look at the y values, where the x values increment by 1, and I think about this with a common base. The common base is going to be 2, and I notice there's a negative sign. Now, this also tells me the idea of a reflection. Now, of course, there are two cases. Sometimes it will be reflected with respect to the x-axis. Sometimes it will be reflected with respect to the y-axis. Notice these negative signs came from, again, let me highlight this in the original points. This came from the y components. So this is reflected with respect to the x-axis, which means I am putting all this together. It looks like it's going to be 2 to the power of x, but there's a reflection with respect to the x-axis. So the final answer is this graph appears to be the equation y equal to -2 to the power of x. If you find this video meaningful and is adding value to your math life, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I hope this makes sense.